Going back to this series, one of the key moments in that first game, as with a lot of these series in the playoffs, it comes down to these Baron fights.
Yeah.
And we got a clip from that first game, one of the Baron fights that was a pretty big decider in this one.
Yeah, and Fnatic kind of just forces it straight up in the face of Misfits. Sure, Hansama was kind of forcing down mid, and they think they might have a man advantage, but Alfari comes around the side. He kind of gets picked out here. But the key thing to note is that Power of Evil actually got a great stun onto Caps. The Black Show was actually late, and then the Jonathan Tornado knocked him up. So he's completely taken out of the fight. Sure, Alfari got knocked out in the backline, but Reckless didn't do any damage to anybody else. And from here, it's just Misfits putting on the chase. You're going to see Ignar and PoE flash over the Baron pit to make sure Reckless goes down. And the rest of the way, they're just going to chase Broxah completely out of the pit.
Yeah.
We want to secure this Baron, so Broxah, you're going to run all the way across the rift.
Yeah.
See you later. And then they're going to take this Baron. And from here, they close out the game pretty handily.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much, they just need an advantage like that, and they've shown in these playoffs that they can close out those games. And it just felt like almost a little bit of disrespect throughout this series from Fnatic, almost like they were expecting regular season Misfits and just kind of sitting there. They're like, they'll throw in the mid game. We just got to wait for that. They'll throw in the late game. We'll just, sit back a bit, wait for them to make their mistakes. And most of these games, Misfits didn't make a mistake, and Fnatic lost. So it's just definitely a little bit of disrespect from Fnatic, I think.
Yeah, and there was a stat they showed on the broadcast where it was, everyone knows how good Fnatic was in the early game. Around 15 minutes, the goal differential was like plus like 1,500 or something. But they were trailing consistently against the Misfits in the semifinals, and they were just, again, sitting back. They weren't being proactive. It was very much reactive. And the one time they really did try to make plays early on ended up backfiring in game 2.
Yeah, and I mean, also, it's just, you look at some of the playmaking stuff that we've talked about. Ignar, he excels on guys like Blitzcrank, the hook-based champions where you can excel as a playmaker. And again, you saw that in this series, specifically some of these tower dives that Fnatic did go for with some of their over-aggression in some of these games. Again, we've got a clip where Ignar kind of displays what he can do on Blitzcrank with some crazy angles.
But this one wasn't even so much Ignar. It was Jesus there misses the stun on Tarek, and then Caps misses his chains on Hansama, so he's able to walk away. Now they overchase, which is going to set up Ignar here to get a great hook on Brox, pretty much max range, take him out, and all of a sudden that turns this into, it was going to be first turret and a big advantage for Fnatic. Instead, it's a kill to Misfits, and things are going back their way. And then pretty much right after, Ignar just presses W, walks towards Jesus, and then they take him down with the Ignite. So yeah, it's Ignar being a great playmaker on this too, but I mean, this entire play basically gave an edge that Fnatic had, or was going to have with that first turret and probably a couple kills, into Misfits getting 2 kills of their own, and then turning the game around from there.
Yeah, and again, just kind of a bit sloppy there, basically, by Fnatic. I don't know, maybe some of that has to do with that bye week, but I mean, both teams in EU with the bye winning a combined 1 game in their sets. So,
not bad.
I mean, I think it's still up for debate whether or not that bye week is actually a positive thing to have in the playoffs. So, clearly in EU, it didn't work out so well. But, I mean, yeah, Fnatic, again, didn't play nearly up to what they've done throughout the split. But Misfits continue to look fantastic in these playoffs. I mean, pretty much across the board, everyone played super well for them in that set.